So this is the first class for ellipse. I'm going to start with the introduction for ellipse and what and all things are needed for ellipse. So please pay attention for ellipse. What we are going to do here is, this is the line which is exactly going to cross the ellipse axis line, and this is the another line which is exactly going to cross the ellipse. So when the major part of the ellipse is resting on x-axis, this part will become major axis, semi-major axis. And the one which is exactly going to cut the minor part. So this y-axis will become the semi-minor axis. Today morning some introduction I have given, and I have explained about the eccentricity, and I have explained some important factors. The formula for ellipse also I have explained. So now let's start the session. From the beginning session, I'm going to explain this part out. So if somebody will be telling you, so first to write down what is exactly the directrix and what and all factors are present here. So first you check that the line which is exactly going to be symmetrical on both the axes, this part is directrix line. This is considered as two directrix line will be there. Okay, so when we are drawing the directrix line, this will become the center line. This we will write it as C. Okay, so once we are writing this as center, this will become the focus. So the first focus point will be written as A, E, comma 0. Okay. Now this value of focus we have solved with PS by PM. PS by PM is equal to E. By solving this section, we have got focus, and we have got, because we have studied in the first section of conic part, कि whenever we are starting a conic section, the conic section is about, Payoja, good evening, Bina. The conic section is about a fixed line and fixed point, where the fixed line is considered as directrix, the fixed point is the focus. Okay. For ellipse, how many focus will be there? For ellipse, two focus will be there. S dash here it will become AE, comma 0. Okay. The origin, the major part is exactly the origin section. I just go give a bit of, and this part is the vertex point. So this will come A, comma 0. And the another vertex point here it will be coming, it will come minus A, comma 0. And we will take it as A dash. One thing we must remember, CK. CK means we will be talking about this point, we are going to take it as K, and this point we are going to take it as K dash. Okay. So when somebody will be asking you about this section, AK, CK. So CK total distance will be what? CK, CS distance. So from the origin. From the origin, some things we must remember. बायोजा इसको देखो अच्छे से. C से लेकर के K तक का distance. ये आ जाएगा x is equal to a by e. ओके. एंड हियर c से लेके k डैश तक का डिस्टेंस वो भी x is equal to a by e ही होगा, बट यहाँ पे क्योंकि हम इस तरफ शिफ्ट कर रहे हैं तो ये हो जाएगा c x is equal to minus a by e. So equation of directrix line here will become x is equal to a by e, and here it will become x is equal to minus a by e. And this is the vertex point. The vertex point will be minus a comma 0, and here vertex point will be a comma 0. Now beta, here this section will be considered as what? B minor part. So B will become here 0 comma B. Okay, this B point, and this part will become B dash, and this will become B minus B. So total distance here, this part will become 2B, and this total distance will become 2A. I hope till here it is there. Now symmetry, you need to understand that it is symmetrical about both x-axis and y-axis. अगर इसको ऐसे fold करूँगी तो उठा करके इसको ऐसे डाल सकती हूँ, इसको अगर ऐसे फोल्ड करोगी तो उठा के टोटल उधर चला जाएगा. ठीक है. द कर्व डज नॉट पासेस थ्रू द ओरिजिन. यहाँ पे जो टोटल एलिप्स का कर्व है, मींस द टोटल कर्व ऑफ द एलिप्स, इट विल नेवर टच द origin. Okay. The region, definitely the equation will be coming in this format only. So these are some things which is exactly important for ellipse. So what is the general equation of the ellipse? The general equation of the ellipse is x square by a square plus y square by a square 1 minus e square is equal to 1. What is the general equation? X square by a square plus y square by a square 1 minus e square. This is the general equation of the ellipse, and general equation of the ellipse, commission, general equation of the ellipse will be written into this format. Okay पायोजा? So जब भी हम इसको लिखेंगे, इसको कैसे लिखेंगे बेटा? X square by a square, look here, Rishi, x square by a square plus y square by this one. Now beta, morning itself what I had discussed कि जब भी हम इसको लिखेंगे, whenever we will be writing here, C point is origin, ma'am. Yes, here C से लेके K तक का distance. निशिका, CK is equal to X. बेटा here ना center we are taking it as C. Okay, center point we are taking it as C. Center to focus. Center to focus distance is AE. Payoja, try to understand in this way, beta. Try to understand this part. Try to understand this section. Like now look here, इसको ऐसे सीखो. What is the total distance between S dash? So what is the total distance between S dash, beta? See, C to S is AE. Distance C to S is AE. Now C to S dash distance also is AE. So what is the total distance between S dash? So S dash is CS plus CS dash. So it will become 2AE. So distance between two focus. Distance between two focus of ellipse is 2AE. Understood? Distance between two focus of ellipse is 2AE, where A is the vertex point and E is the eccentricity. Understood? So distance between A dash, this distance is taken as A, this distance is also taken as A. So what is the distance between the vertices? The distance between the vertices A dash is equal to 2A. This is called as semi-major axis. What it is called as? Semi-major axis. Now beta, what is this distance? This distance is B. Okay, Paja, this distance is B. So what is the distance between B dash, beta? It will become 2B. Understood? So if somebody will ask you, now look here, if somebody will ask you what is the distance, understood now, Paja? So now here if somebody will ask you what is this distance, here to where distance is x is equal to A by E. So what is the distance between both the directrix? Both the directrix distance. What is the distance between both the directrix? If somebody will ask you what is the distance between both the directrix, so that particular point what you will say, x will be equal to A by E and x will be equal to A by E. So total distance will be what? Here it will become 2A by E. So distance between both the directrix is 2A by E. Distance between both the focus is 2AE. Understood? Distance between both the vertices is 2A. Distance between both the minor vertex part is exactly taken as 2B. Raja, is it clear till here, beta? Understood, na beta? So this is exactly when people will be talking about distance between two focus, where both the focus is 2AE, distance between both the directrix line is 2A by E, distance between focus and vertex point is. So beta, if somebody will ask you what is the distance, then you will be able to form. Now eccentricity now for ellipse is less than 1. Eccentricity of ellipse is less than 1. Remember this one, beta. So whenever you will write eccentricity formula, it will be less than 1, beta. How we are going to write here? Now check this one out. So eccentricity for focus, which the eccentricity for ellipse is less than 1. So how we are exactly writing it as? Now look here, x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1. So here whenever the major part of ellipse is resting on x-axis, the major part of ellipse will be resting on x-axis, A will be greater than B. Understood? So whenever the major part of axis is resting on x-axis, A will be greater than B. This is the most important section, beta. Next important point to be noted, कि when we will be writing B, so B square will be equal to A square 1 minus E square. Understood? So B square will be equal to A square 1 minus E square, where E is less than 1. Okay? E is less than 1. So without wasting time, we will be talking about double ordinate also and latus rectum. Last class in parabola when I was teaching, what was the definition of latus rectum, beta? What was the definition of latus rectum, beta? What definition of latus rectum we have studied? Understood, beta. So latest rectum when we have studied about parabola, it was exactly 4a. How much it was? 4a. And it was fixed for all the situations. We are asking time schedule now only. Got it? So now beta here you need to be very very careful for going to the next part. Now look here beta. I am going to explain some things. So when b square is equal to a square 1 minus e square. So first we are going to multiply this b square by a square is equal to 1 minus e square. Correct? So now we will shift e square is equal to 1 minus b square by a square. So eccentricity in this case will be 1 minus b square by a square. So this is about the formula for eccentricity. Hello Himanshu. So this is exactly the formula for eccentricity. How we are writing the formula for eccentricity beta? B square, E square will be equal to 1 minus B square by A square. So E will be equal to S. So we can write it as A square minus B square by A square. Understood? So E will be written like this, plus minus eccentricity. Eccentricity is less than 1 now. So eccentricity when it will be less than 1 means we can write like this, eccentricity will be equal to plus minus root under a square minus b square by a. We can write like that, a square minus b square by a. I am fine, Himanshu. So a square minus b square by a. Now beta we will be doing latus rectum. You know one thing that latus rectum passes through the focus. Okay. Latus rectum will pass through the focus. So how we can derive the equation of latus rectum? I am doing this part. So how we can derive the latus rectum here first? Check this one out. This is your ellipse. Okay. And I taught you one thing that the ellipse latus rectum, if this is the ellipse latus rectum will pass through the focus. So definitely this is the latus rectum, it is passing through the focus. So there will be two latus rectum, okay. So one latus rectum we are going to talk about, tomorrow morning 6 o'clock. So definitely if one part we are going to ask, this part is there, okay. Now here beta, this distance from here C center point to S point. Paija, here names, symbols are fixed. Don't change it. It will be very, very convenient for you. Okay. So here it will become C. Center to S part is AE, comma 0. So that means this distance will become AE. So if latus rectum L will be there, so this distance will be AE because X distance is coming as AE. And this part will be LS. This part will be coming as ls. So now ls is the length of the latest rectum. Now what is the equation beta? X square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1. Now what is the value of x we can take? We can take x value as ae whole square because this point is present on ellipse now. So it will satisfy the equation of ellipse. Always remember this point is present on ellipse. So it will, so this distance is ls. So this distance, instead of this we can write a square, here ls whole square by b square is equal to 1. Now here what you are going to do is we will be writing this part as a square e square by a square plus ls whole square by b square equal to 1. So a square cancel. So ls whole square by b square is equal to 1 minus e square. So ls whole square is equal to b square 1 minus e square. Correct? B square 1 minus E square. So definitely if somebody will be asking B square 1 minus E square. Now beta 1 minus E square formula is what? Just now I taught you now 1 minus B square formula is it will become B square by A square. B square by A square. Why? Because just now I taught now B square is equal to A square 1 minus E square. So इसको इधर shift कर देंगे when the ellipse is exactly resting on x-axis. Payoja, when the major part of the ellipse is resting on x-axis, then b square is equal to a square 1 minus e square. Beta, when the ellipse will change its location, then this equation will also change. Always remember. Understood? So if the major part of the ellipse will shift like this, then this will not be the case. This case is only coming when the major part of the ellipse is resting on x-axis. Okay? So here this will become, so ls will become b4 by a square root under. So length of latest rectum b square by a. But we have to find the total length of latest rectum. So the total length of latest rectum is ll dash. So it will become 2b square by a. So always remember this one. Always remember this one. कि whenever ll dash is equal to 2b square by a. ll dash is equal to 2b square by a. Understood? So here the most important thing is कि whenever somebody will ask you about the latest rectum, what answer you are going to say? The length of latest rectum when the ellipse major section is resting on x-axis will be 2b square by a. Understood beta? It will always be 2b square by a. I hope you might have understood. Hello Abhi, good evening. So पायजा यहाँ तक समझ में आया? Did you understood this? I will read your comment. Yes, it will be sent in the group itself. You need to give me some time, Himanshu. In your group, it will be given. People will give because we are adding right now. So 2b square by a, 2b square by a will be coming. 2b square by a is coming as, I hope you might have understood 2b square by a part, understood everybody? So this is exactly about the length of latest rectum. Okay, so definitely this is exactly the way to find the latest rectum. I hope you might have understood how to find the latest rectum beta. Is it clear? So this is exactly the way to find the latest rectum. Now we have understood the latest rectum part also. So now we are going to study about the ellipse, which is exactly resting on the major part of the ellipse when it will be resting on y-axis. Now beta, here this is opposite. So when the latest rectum will be, the ellipse will be. So when the major part of the So this is when the major part of the ellipse will be resting on y-axis. Okay, so everything will change. So for this type, what and all things are there? Center remains the same. You need to understand this part here is again C. Okay. Now here, this part will become A. This is A comma 0 and this part will become A dash. This is minus A comma 0 beta. Then now here focus will come this side. It will become 0 comma BE. And here focus will become beta S dash. It will become 0 comma minus BE. Understood? So focus shift is exactly coming. So here focus will become 0 comma BE. When first time the ellipse was shifted like this, the focus was AE comma 0. But now the focus is 0 comma BE. What is the focus? 0 comma BE. Now here 0 comma BE and 0 comma minus BE. And directrix line will be here and directrix line will be here. So this directrix line will become, what will be this? B by E. There, here it was A by E. This is the difference. Here it was x is equal to minus A by E and here x is equal to A by E. But in this section, the focus will, the directrix line will be y is equal to B by E and here it will be y is equal to minus B by E. So this will be considered as what? This will be considered as K and this will be K dash. So distance between the directrix line will become 2B by E. Now vertex point here it is B. So it will become 0 comma minus B and this part will become minus 0 comma B. So distance, this is major axis, semi-major axis and this part will become minor axis. So definitely now for this case, what will be the eccentricity? Here when you are writing x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1, then a is greater than b. A is greater than b. But here x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1, here b is greater than b. Understood? So this is the major difference. Here A is greater than B, here B is greater than A. So when we will be writing the equation here, A is here, B is greater than A. This you must remember. Here B is greater than A, here A is greater than B. Now next important point. Here when you are writing A square, this part will become A square is equal to B square 1 minus E square. Understood? So here equation A square is equal to B square 1 minus E square. And for major when parabola will, ellipse will be resting on here, it is B square is equal to A square 1 minus E square. So this is the difference in the location. So always remember when the ellipse will be resting, the major part of the ellipse will be resting on x-axis, there B square is equal to A square 1 minus E square. When the major part of the ellipse will be resting on y-axis, at that particular moment A squared is equal to, this value will become A squared is equal to B squared minus E square. So it will become A squared by B square 1 minus E square. So E square will be equal to 1 minus A square by B square root under. So this is exactly the way to find the ellipse. So I hope you might have understood this, Manishika. Everybody, Payoja, did you understood till here, beta? So this is exactly the way to find the ellipse for when the ellipse is ellipse is exactly resting on x-axis and when the ellipse is resting on y-axis. Now the length of latus rectum will change here because here latus rectum will come here. Here latus rectum will come here, beta. It will pass like this. Understood? So if the latus rectum will pass by like this, so this equation will become what? This distance will become BE. So here it will become BE. And what is x value? X distance will be what? Here x distance will be 0. Think again. Substitute the value. here in shortcut, if you want to write, yes, here in shortcut, if you want to write Pyoja, see, in previous latest rectum and here latest rectum, we have to derive latest rectum is, here it will become LS. This distance will become LS. And then again if you find, so now what is the major difference in both the situation? I'm just going to write the major difference in both the situation, which ellipse, which equation. So when the ellipse is resting on x-axis and when the ellipse is resting on y-axis. So we will differentiate this one. Okay? So when the ellipse is resting on x-axis, here it will become x is equal to a by b beta, directrix equation. This is taken as k point and this point is taken as k dash. Here x will be equal to minus a by b. Is it clear, Nishi? Everybody please say पायोजा understood ना बेटा, इसको अच्छे से समझो पायोजा, सारा चीज क्लियर हो जाएगा बेटा. This is S, sorry, this is taken as what beta, C, and this will become S A E comma 0, and this is S dash, it is coming as minus A E comma 0. Got it? Now here this C is the center. Now this B part will be there, it is coming 0 comma B, and this B dash will come 0 comma minus B. This part will come as A dash minus A comma 0, and here it is A comma 0. Now beta equation is x square by A square plus y square by B square is equal to 1. Here A is greater than B. Understood? And here b square is equal to a square 1 minus b square. Okay. Now for this situation, everything will change better. So here our b part will become, here focus will come, so it will become 0 comma be, and here focus S dash will become 0 comma minus be beta. C will become the center, and this part will become directrix equation will become what beta, y is equal to b by e. Here directrix equation will become y is equal to minus b by e. Done. Now beta here this distance will become a, it will become a comma 0, and this distance will become a dash minus a comma 0. This part is coming as b, it is 0 comma b, and this vertex point will become b dash 0 comma minus b. But here equation will become what beta, x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1. Here you must remember that a is lesser than b, and here it will be a square is equal to b square 1 minus a square. This is the major difference. So major focus point, this point, here length of latest rectum. Just now we got L dash answer because this is the latest rectum, L dash. So we got it 2b square by a. And here latest rectum will come L dash is equal to 2a square by b. So this part latest rectum is coming as beta, this part 2b square by a, and this section will become what beta, 2a square by b. So this is the difference in the latest rectum. So one latest rectum is 2b square by a, and one latest rectum is coming as 2a square by b. So this is the major difference between the ellipse. Pyoja is in grade 11, Himanshu. So this part and this part, I hope you might have understood the difference between these two ellipse beta. One ellipse, the major section is exactly resting on x-axis, and one section, the major I hope you might have understood this one. So this is exactly the most important section. When somebody will be asking you, so it is coming as LL dash is equal to 2b square by a, and here it is coming as 2b square by a. Huh? No. Latest rectum will change. Latest rectum will change. Latest sectum will change. Here it will become 2a square by b and here it is 2b square by b. That's it. Latest sectum will not be same. Distance between focal distance will also change. Focal distance will also change. Focal distance means distance between focus and arbitrary point pxy. So here focal distance, note down. Focal distance for this case will be focal distance. Focal distance means focal distance. Distance between focus and the arbitrary point. Focus distance will be a plus minus ex. Remember this one, focal distance. A plus minus ex. Focal distance is coming as a plus minus ex. Okay, but if somebody will be asking focal distance in this case, so here the focal distance will be this part is here focal distance will become, the difference will come, here focal distance will come as B plus minus E1. Understood? Because the major section of the ellipse is resting. One part major section ellipse is resting on A, this part x-axis. So here A, E plus minus Ex, and here focal distance is B plus minus Ey. So this is the major section written. Everybody must understand this one. I hope till here everything is okay. I hope everybody understood this one. Till here understood? I hope you might have understood till here that focal distance is coming as a plus minus ex and here it is b plus minus ey. So this is exactly the distance, this is the difference between the focal distance. Till here I hope this is the beginning section and this is the most important thing. What is the length of major axis? Length of major axis and length of minor axis only left. So length of major axis is 2a here, length of minor axis is 2b here beta. So length of major axis, if somebody will ask you, it is 2a and here length of minor axis is 2b. But beta here what is the length of major axis? Length of major axis. So length of major axis is 2b and length of minor axis. So minor axis length will become beta here 2a. So length of major axis and length of minor axis. BB, yes beta. Ma'am, here yes, BB is semi-minor axis. BB dash is semi-minor axis. Okay, Payaja. They want. Yeah, thank you. So here BB, Nishika understand this. Here BB dash, you take keys. Please keep it. Yeah. So actually length of major axis is coming as 2a, length of minor axis is coming as 2b. So here just it will reverse out. It will become length of major axis is 2b, length of minor axis is 2a. Just understand this one. So length of major axis and minor axis will change. I hope everything is now crystal clear. If you want to shift the ellipse from the origin, see till the ellipse will be resting on origin, equation will be written like that. But the moment if you wish to change the ellipse location, just understand this is the origin point and the ellipse is exactly coming like this. It is out of target. Now this center point is h comma k. The moment the ellipse will shift and run away from the origin section, at that particular moment equation will become x minus h by whole square a square plus y minus k by whole square b square equal to 1. Note on this one. So this is exactly when the shift is there. Yes, the moment, yes, when the shift will be there, when the ellipse will be exactly going away from, so it will become the center will shift now. So x minus h square by a square plus y minus k whole square by b square equal to 1. So this is exactly indicating 1. This is exactly indicating the shift. So we have learned all the important sections of ellipse. So these are the most important sections of ellipse. So ellipse eccentricity is less than 1. Two situations are there. One situation is there when the ellipse is resting on x-axis. Understood. Directrix equation will change when the ellipse will be resting on y-axis. Correct. Now semi-major axis will change when the ellipse will shift. Eccentricity value will also change. Latus rectum will also change. Everything will change. Focal distance also will be changing. Payaja, till here understood, beta? So as promised, I have told I'm going to take class for 40 minutes every day, means evening, little bit information, little bit questions, little bit part we are going to understand, means it will become much easy. Raja, how was the class? Did you understood about this? The moment you will rewind it and learn it one more time in a very slow manner, you'll understand, means nothing is tough here. X is equal to A by E, Y is equal to B by E. That is directrix equation. How we are writing the distance between the directrix. Same things will be there, beta. Major axis, minor axis, all parts will be there. I hope you might have understood this section. So next class what we will do tomorrow evening again I'm going to keep 9. Most of it tomorrow early 9:15 I will keep, so that 40 minutes I'm going to cover it up. So there also I'm going to start solving questions. So whatever I taught right now, just have a revision of it. Just see the video one more time, basics, and then we will go for NCRT question, exemplar questions, and some extra questions we will do. Okay, beta. So just little bit late I started because one monkey was absent. Okay. Bye, beta. Good night. Center shifting means, see, just remember this one, Payoja. Always remember, whenever you will shift the center anywhere, na Payoja, anyone means, see, we are not tilting the location. Here now, we are not lifting like this or doing like this. Okay, we will do only one work. We'll keep the ellipse like this only. Then only this equation will be there. When the ellipse will go like this, then other factors will be coming. Okay, but here what we are doing from the origin section, we just shifted ellipse can here, ellipse can be shifted here, ellipse can be shifted here, ellipse can be shifted here. Then only h and k value will be changing data. The standard equations and everything means we will have to shift the content from this, and then we have to write the standard equation like that we are doing. Okay. So this is what h and k value can be positive, negative. No, if you shift the ellipse part, na, then everything will change. That time you need to change the values. That time general equation will be there. That time general equation will be there. So you need to be like this. You just shift ellipse like this. You can keep the ellipse from here and you can shift it here. Like this ellipse is already there, na? When the major part of the ellipse is resting on y-axis. This equation is becoming the equation of the center. Here the center got shifted, Nishika. Here the center got shifted. For every shift, E will be less than 1. Yes, Payoja. You listen, beta. In conic section, now, whenever you will be taking ellipse, beta, ellipse value, wherever you will put what you call the ellipse, the value of eccentricity will always be less than 1. This is the most important crucial factor. Eccentricity for parabola is 1. Eccentricity for circle is 0, eccentricity for ellipse is less than 1, and eccentricity for hyperbola is greater than 1. अंडरस्टूड कहीं पे भी एसेंट्रिसिटी ले लो, एसेंट्रिसिटी का वैल्यू हमेशा 1 से कम होगा एलिप्स के लिए. समझ में आया बेटा? एसेंट्रिसिटी विल ऑलवेज बी लेस देन 1 फॉर एलिप्स. For circle, eccentricity will always be 0, and eccentricity for parabola will always be equal to 1. And this is the most important thing. In hyperbola, you can take eccentricity anywhere, beta. Eccentricity will always be greater than 1. Have you understood that one, na beta? So eccentricity will be, that's what, na beta. Eccentricity is the ratio between the fixed point, distance, आर्बिट्ररी पॉइंट से लेकर के फोकस, एंड फोकस से लेकर के डायरेक्ट्रिक्स, उसका PS बाय PM ये था ना, डाले थे ना हम. P आर्बिट्ररी पॉइंट, PX बाय ये फोकस था, और ये क्या था, डायरेक्ट्रिक्स का पॉइंट Z था. सॉरी, डायरेक्ट्रिक्स का डिस्टेंस M था जो परपेंडिकुलर था. तो PS बाय PM इज इक्वल टू E. So different figures will have different type. Understood na Payaja? Very good. Nice question, Payaja. This was a very important question. Everybody must ask this question. Okay? किसी भी केस में ले लो, एलिप्स को ऐसे ले लो, ऐसे ले लो. एलिप्स को अगर ऐसे लोगे, एसेंट्रिसिटी का वैल्यू हमेशा 1 से कम होगा. ठीक है? एसेंट्रिसिटी वैल्यू will always be less than 1. Bye, beta. Good night. Our 40 minutes class is over. And good night. Sorry for little late. Next time I'll just starting in 9:15 only. Okay. Bye bye. Good night, beta.